Hello, everyone. My name is Megan Coates, and I'm a senior here at Stockton University studying Greek and archaeology. And I just wanted to speak with you for a few moments about traveling abroad and the endless possibilities that it brings. Okay, so I started studying here at Stockton in the fall of 2016, and my plan originally was to become a nurse. I had already had experience working in hospitals and nurses make very good money, and it just seemed like the logical step. It just seemed like the right thing to do. But if I'm being honest with you, it wasn't in my heart. I don't believe I truly wanted to do it. It just seemed like something that I should do. And as a freshman here, one of my courses was a class called The Worlds of Homer. And it was taught by Professor David Rosell. And the class was very interesting. It involved the cultures of ancient Greeks and the poetic traditions that inspired them. It included, amazing stories like the Iliad and the Odyssey and Trojan horses and these amazing war battles. It was very interesting. I loved the course. After writing my final paper, I was posed with a question by the professor if I had ever been abroad. And then he asked me a question that I don't think I ever thought anyone would ever ask me. He asked me if I was interested in going to Greece and Cyprus. I had never even heard of Cyprus, and Greece seemed like a world away. So many negative things popped up in my mind. I don't have the money. I've never been on an airplane. I don't have a passport. How is that possible? And so, of course, I said no. The question was almost like a shock to my system. Like, why would he even ask me that? But he was steadfast and he continued to ask me. And so I finally told him that I didn't have the money and that it was impossible. But then he informed me that I didn't need the money and that Stockton would provide it and that all I would have to do was just go. And that seemed impossible. But I said yes, which was probably one of the best decisions that I've ever made. And I got on a plane, and 10 hours later, we landed in Athens. There I was with three other students in Athens. It was seemed unbelievable, like it was like a dream that I couldn't wake up from. I was looking at buildings, structures, statues, places, things that I had only seen in history books, things that I'd only read about. And I was physically there, touching and looking at them. It was incredible. It was life changing. After returning to the United States, I found myself in a fantasy of still being there. I wanted all of those memories of all of the places I had visited. I still wanted them to stay with me. I wanted to go back. I wanted to keep going back. And I wanted to bring other students with me. I wanted them to experience what I had experienced. And I was just so lucky because Professor Roselle felt the same way that I did. The memories that I brought back with me from Greece were so vivid. They were so clear in my mind. And I wanted people to know what I had experienced. And it was something that a photograph just couldn't quite do justice. So I began painting my memories, painting them in a way that people would see the colors and the faces and the everything that was around me. So people would understand what I had felt. And before I knew it, I had 16 paintings, 16 of them. And a year later, I was invited back to Greece. Who would have thought? Me going back to Greece. And they asked me if I wanted to exhibit my paintings. Other people wanted to see them too. Other people wanted to experience the experience that I had too. Before I knew it, I was living in Cyprus. My artwork was featured in international exhibitions. And every time I say that out loud, I still can't believe that it's me that I'm talking about. That was 4 years ago. It's been 4 years. Since then, I've traveled to 6 or 7 other countries. And I take students with me now, traveling at least 3 times a year. We go to Greek universities. We meet Greek students. We attend conferences. We participate in workshops and activities. And we make lifelong friends. In a way, I've sort of become a citizen of the world. And I started to realize that students like myself don't get opportunities like that very often. But I wanted students like myself to be citizens of the world as well. And it bothers me that something as simple, something as frivolous as money is standing in the way of that. You're probably wondering, why am I telling you this? I'm saying this to you because of how close I came to missing this opportunity, of how close I came to just falling in line, slipping through the cracks, just doing what was expected of me. I'm saying this to you because I don't want you to make the same mistake that I almost made. Here at Stockton, I don't ever want you to think that something is impossible or that a goal is unattainable, unreachable. I come to you now with my horizons broadened, having learned more about myself than I ever imagined, having learned more about the world than I ever imagined. And I encourage you now to do the same thing. Broaden your horizons. Please take any and all opportunities that Stockton has to travel. And who knows, you may just change your life. Take care of yourselves and stay safe.